Good afternoon. Uh, this is Michael Littlecrow, and I will be your instructor for Math 265 this fall semester. I am not with you today because I am in Thailand and was had some flight delays coming here, which caused my return flights to be canceled. We got them rescheduled, but a little bit later. Also, I just picked up this class at the time of rescheduling. Everything seemed fine, but so I picked up this Friday start date. Anyway, we're here together thanks to my colleague, Tamara, and she is going to uh, be there to answer, I guess, a few questions, but mostly just to show this video for anyone who came to class. It will also, obviously, I sent it out in an announcement, so it's available online. Um, and it'll be up to you to decide whether you need to be there in class. I think it will be a good get into the setting. We have a very full class. I think it has a capacity of 120, and we have 119 students. So we're very full. Anyway, what I'm going to do with this video today is get you at least started into the course, get set up so that you can move forward at your pace. We will start into the course content Monday in Monday's class, and then we meet Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, first of all, the place to be where you probably got this was from Canvas. There's an announcement you should have received by now. Meet your instructor. Um, and then there's a very similar message here in the welcome. Uh, so kind of double duty. The first thing you'll want to do is the Module 0 Academic Integrity Agreement. This needs to be completed by everyone. And it is basically your agreement. It shows up here. You'll follow this. It'll talk about the HU academic policy. You'll see it as a quiz. I see it as instructor. So there'll be a place for you to answer that you agree and you agree to be honest and that this work will be your work. Again, going through all of this whole semester and not learning anything would be a big waste of time for you. Uh, so you'll want to study and we'll get through it. Then there's Webworks. But before I start into all of that, you should also have a copy of the syllabus, which you can read over. Again, here we have course coordinators who write most of the syllabus parts. I do have the ability to make adjustments, but I typically go with what they've written. So just recognize that the tone and such is that of another instructor, and how I feel about things and such may be a little different. So as you read it, it was not authored by me. However, we will follow along with the course layout there. The main thing I want to emphasize for my courses, as far as what are policies and rules and regulations, I really only have, I don't know if it's one rule or two rules, but let me throw it out here for you and see what you think. The first one is to accept that we are the owners of our actions. Material things we really don't own because we might possess them for a time, but we really don't own anything from this world. It passes on. So a little philosophy here, right? Uh, but we do own the actions that we take. And this is where there's sort of the two rules is that it breaks up that each of our actions is either can be classified as either skillful action or unskillful actions. Uh, how do we determine the difference? Well, this is my basic rule is skillful actions get me to where I'm wanting to go. They help me to accomplish things, this feeling of success. They lead me to happiness. Unskillful actions will lead me in the opposite direction, not to accomplishing things, not to happiness, eventually to probably sadness. The other part of that is any action that causes damage, hurt to either ourself or to another, that is by definition unskillful. So we want to work towards being more skillful in our actions, doing things that help us accomplish our goals. And as we see things that we do that are not skillful, to kind of step away from them. Now, the difficult part is sometimes unskillful actions are a lot of fun. Um, and sometimes skillful actions, well, they might feel a little boring or not as exciting. So the idea is to look at things from the terms of, in the long run, what is this going to do for me? And again, even though it may bring some brief pleasures, some brief fleeting happiness, if it's unskillful, it's going to affect us in those ways. So I apply it to our course. Homework, should I get it done on time or not? Well, again, I leave a lot up to you to decide, is it skillful to get things in on time, or is it unskillful? Things will happen. I'll work with you, but I think you'll find that if you approach each thing that happens to you, you'll see that you do have control over many things in life. Sometimes we don't, but what we do have control over is how we respond to things. Um, and so let's work together to move towards being more and more skillful in our actions, kinder, gentler with each other, and we'll, we'll we'll all gain greater success that way. So that's really what I want you to say. So as you come to rules, is a cell phone allowed or not allowed? I'm just going to say, well, is it skillful or unskillful? Is it really skillful that every 5 seconds we have a cell phone going off? Probably not. But we are the owners of our actions. We have to make those decisions and move forward. So that's how I like to get things moving. So the main part, and again, I'm dragging this out a little bit, I guess, because I want you to see what my philosophies are and such. Um, Basically, today, the main assignment we have for you to get started is click on that link to access Webworks. I'm going to walk you through, then I'll give you a little bit of background about myself, and but this is the key part. So how we interact with each other, and then how we get started in class. Now, my last name is actually Little Crow, but because it's 2 words, it oftentimes gets cut off, and I often appear as Crow. So I've been, since I came to ASU in 2018, I often appear just as Michael Crow, which I wouldn't mind getting confused with his paycheck, but uh, anyway, uh, maybe it helped me get the job. Being, it's always been a positive thing to have the sort of same name as the president. And in fact, actually, Dr. Michael Crow is one of the reasons I'm here with his philosophy on the new American University, the eight uh, sort of concepts of the new American University. So but I am Michael Little Crow, but for this class, you're going to have to log into the class that just says Crow. So this will be our class. You should all be in here as registered students. If you don't see this, send me an email and I'll work with it. But my understanding, I've got 119 students registered in this course, and I've gone through and made the assignments. But uh, again, if we run into any difficulties, we'll go. So the main thing I want you to work on, hopefully over the weekend, before our first meeting on Monday. First meeting on Monday, we'll look at section 1.3, is the introduction to Webworks. So I'll click here. There's 8 problems. If you click on the problem, now again, I'm in teacher mode, so it might look a little different as you go through it, or might not. This is actually my first time in using Webworks, uh, so we'll kind of learn together. But read through the problems. It gives you some practice with entering things. You can check your answers, submit your answers, and then move on to the next one. So that's what this first one is really about. You shouldn't face any questions that are overly difficult. Mostly it's about just figuring out how this system works. Um, and I'll be doing it this weekend myself because actually I haven't done it yet. So again, we'll learn together and move forward together. So that's what I'd like you to have done by the time we meet again on Monday. Um, If you want to move ahead, that's perfectly fine with me. Uh, Let me show you what's also available for moving ahead, if you'd like, in the Canvas course. So once we get into Module 1, there are additional resources here. Uh, some of these are not graded activities. Let's see. Here's an overview. So sometimes I know they like educational theory says you should always have the overview. What are you going to learn and stuff? But I'm someone who just let me learn it first, and then I'll figure out what I learned later. Uh, in these modules, there's some review modules. We will start with the limit of a function. So these other ones that are not graded, they're probably good review for algebra and such. Um, and what they contain is some videos, some instructional videos. So you're welcome to take a look. And again, I would suggest going through these first few because they are intended as review. You could see if you're up to speed, or maybe if you need to do a little bit more review. Okay, but with each of the modules that we do, there will be also these are leftover, well, not leftover, but they're taken from an online course. So these were intended as basically the only instructional part for an online class. So those are here as helps. Yes, if you miss a class or something, this will be a good place to go. I'm going to experiment with something I've done before, which is sort of live streaming the course for anyone who can't make it. We'll um, we'll do that. I did that when I was back at Scottsdale Community College. I use a YouTube channel that I have to make it accessible, and so it's there live if you can't make it. And the other advantage of it is it records it, and it's right there in YouTube for those who were in class to look at it later on. Maybe something that didn't make sense you want to look over again, or if you're not able to view it during the course time, you can view it later. So we'll have that. There's these recorded videos that uh, are quite good because they're for our online classes. So those are all there. And then again, we'll be doing WebWork 1.3. So these all are applicable to those. So great resources. So that's our goal, is to give you access to many different resources so you can figure out what works best for you. Um, in class, I will be providing instruction and guidance, working through examples, that kind of thing, because I kind of learn by doing, and so we'll do that. In class, we'll have some opportunities for you to try a few things out, but most of this course is set up so that um, as long as you engage in the learning activities, you'll learn the material, you'll get those, and then the grades for the exams, which I believe sometimes I get them confused. We'll look over. It's about typically it's between 60 to 80% that the department has us weight the exam portion. So we'll be doing those in class. Here's our syllabus. It's an important document, especially this first page, kind of laid out. So we will be looking at section 1.3 Monday. There is you will have access also to the ebook from within Webworks. Um, you're supposed to, it's part of, let me, now that I've gotten to this part, um, Brightwave course materials. So here, there was a course fee associated with this, is how we got the materials at I think about $25. So you're supposed to be able to check here, and I don't think it's going to work in teacher mode, but when you're in student mode, it's supposed to give you access to the ebook. Again, let me know if you're having any difficulty. I have a separate way as an instructor to get to it. Oh, here we go. So it's working. Maybe it just wasn't up earlier. Um, but we've got this essentials calculus, and it kind of works right in here. So you can actually go into the e-textbook, review the section 1.3. It's tied together with what we'll be doing. Uh, Again, you may find it helpful to take a look at these things, like section 1.3 before class. What I would do is I would just sort of scan over the examples and get a big overview after lecture, maybe read in more depth as need be. Um, but I'll let you know up front too, I am dyslexic and I learn math differently. In fact, I took calculus 2 times because I didn't do so well the first one. I think I ended up with a C um, when I was at University of Washington. I transferred to Portland State University, and the teacher that I had for calculus then, when I was retaking it, because like you, I was wanting to be an engineer, Dr. Crittenden found out he was dyslexic at that time, and as he explained his diagnosis and how he did things, I said, that sounds like me. Uh, I understood really clearly from him and got an A that second time around, and then I started taking every class I could from him. Uh, so just let you know that you know we can struggle the first time through, but I'm here to help you, if at all possible, make it through this first time and do well. So we'll work together and see. But one of the things I do is I'm good at reading examples and boxes, but math text is not always helpful for me, and sometimes it will confuse me. So um, again, find what type of actions are skillful for you. Some people, it'll be very skillful to read through the book and move forward. Others of us, uh, it will just cause us frustration, and we don't really learn anything from it. But what we can do is, if we at least try to scan every time, we maybe pick up some skills, get better at things. It's not that, hey, I'm not good at this. Hey, I'm not good at it yet. I can develop. And that's what I found. So um, anyway, I don't want to spend all the time here, but there's the textbook. And again, that goes from the Brightwave course materials. Back to Webworks. This is where we'll do all the work. And let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we were at the syllabus. Syllabus lays out, um, grading, weighting, all that kind of stuff. So I'll have you look over those. And the main thing I focus on, keeps me each day I take a look before I come to class, is this little schedule of what are we supposed to do each day. We will pretty much follow this. If we need to, we can always back up. It's got, this chapter 1 review. What I did is I made it so we could cover material, talk about it, discuss it, go over it, and then we have kind of like this day to back up and make sure we understand it and connect with the next section, chapter 2. We go through that, and then before each test, we will have a day for review, work through some problems. There's some review materials. Uh, and again, I'll introduce all that to you as we get to class on Monday. One more thing I'd like to share with you is a resource um, that you will find very helpful. Let's see, there should be maybe I'll put a link in the Canvas as well. But this is what we have we have a sort of a folder in math.asu.edu/MAT265. So that's not too bad to remember. If you go there, there's a lot of good resources here. Math for 265, Calculus for Engineers, um, and there's videos here. There's our exam reviews. We'll be using those, but you've got access to them. So if you want to take a look in advance, we have something called a mastery exam. That's like after exam 2, and it'll be looking at doing some derivatives and stuff, some basic things, um, and we'll work through that together. It's something that we want you to be able to do well, and so that you're able to move forward and understand calculus as you go forward. Then there's these short videos here. So again, just additional resources to do things. And there is, here it is. There's also this keeping in school shape over summer break. So as you finish up, you may want to be looking at Calc 2. You'll go there. There's a mastery practice, which is kind of like a game thing. It's multiple choice, but you'll be able to use that. And anyway, so just a little bit about me. I've been teaching for about 24 years now. I spent about 13 years in the financial services industry. I taught high school math for 1 year, and didn't think teaching was for me. Certainly, high school teaching wasn't for me. So I went into financial planning, mortgage loans, insurance, mutual funds, retirement plans, that kind of stuff for about 13 years, mostly on the technical side because of my math skills. I came back to teaching and earned a master's in math education. My bachelor's is in math education. So I'm not really what you call I'm an education major rather than a math major, an education major who's taken a lot of math courses. I'm currently working on a doctorate, but it's in educational leadership. Um, and so I look at ways of bringing culture into teaching math as well. Uh, I've taught at Scottsdale Community College for since 2004 to 2018 as a full-time faculty there. That's what brought me to the Valley here. I've also taught at Grand Canyon University as an adjunct over the last couple of years, and I've taught their Calc 2 for engineers. So this will be nicer for me. It's where I'm more comfortable. The Calc 2 for engineers over there, the second semester, got into three-dimensional analysis and such, and I make it through, but it was something that I don't do on a regular basis. So calculus, algebra, trigonometry, that's where I feel a lot more comfortable, rather than the vector side of calculus. But you'll all be getting there, and you'll be well served by someone who's got some pretty good skills. And over there at GCU, they only have two. They have a Calc 1 and a Calc 2. So their Calc 3 is actually integrated into their Calc 2. But here you'll get 3 full semesters on the track of it. Okay, so some good resources to go through. And while I have experience in math, and actually I took a lot of extra math classes, so I would qualify for a full math degree. I just never applied for one. I had the ones I needed. My focus again is on the learning of math, and so helping you find alternative ways when the traditional ways are not working for you, or even if ones that are working, how can you learn deeper? So that's what I'm here for building your learning success and getting you through this program successfully with if it's like when I was an engineer, trying to be an engineer, you need high grades because it's competitive, and so my goal is to help you learn it deeply, and do well. So I'm looking forward to this semester. Write down any questions that you come across or any frustrations or struggles that you have. Most of the information, again, you'll be able to find either in the Webworks itself, or there's information here in our MAT265 folder on the department's website, and within Canvas itself. You can message me directly through Canvas or through my email. Anyway, have a great weekend. Get that module 0 completed, get into Webworks, work through that introductory thing, and if possible, or if you like, you can get into 1.3. It's not required, and if it doesn't make much sense, again, pull back. We'll take a look at it on Monday. All right. Take care and be well. We'll see you Monday.